Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are, whether it's dark or light. I am S to the M-O-K-E-Y, and welcome to one of the most confusing platinum trophies I have ever attempted. I started this game back in 2024 when it first released in the hopes of achieving the same platinum trophy I attained as one of the very first games I streamed on Twitch. If you haven't played Until Dawn yourself, then I would highly recommend you try it. This game not only changed the gaming scope of choice-based horror, but it was the very first in its kind to deliver, in my opinion, a decent attempt in the butterfly effect in real game time. As the years went on, I never forgot about this game, and we had many different titles pop up like Supermassive Games' very own Man of Medan, then The Quarry, Life is Strange, and more that tried to replicate this gold dust sealed in a bottle ready for storefronts so gamers could try the experience using their own decisions and trying to essentially save or kill the cast members. So my first playthrough of this particular version, the 2024 remake, presented itself with new dialogue options, newish outcomes, and a couple of nice Easter eggs to find from the year that passed since that fatal accident that befell the Washington sisters the night of the prank on February the 2nd, 2014. Upon playing this remake, I found it to be somewhat similar, but with massive emphasis on new content added like the scene with Hannah and Beth at the beginning, and finding out a little more of the setup before we take control and see the accident one last time. First playthroughs were pretty much what you could expect, seeing the increased resolution, higher frame rates, a better design in the optional film mode or normal 16:9 display for a modern audience. But generally the rest of the game was the same. Or was it? In Until Dawn 2015, the PS4 original, there was a DLC specifically for a certain version of the game that you could potentially buy later, but it was never in the original game. Well, unless you bought it with the game or paid extra for it. This was of course Matt and Emily's extra episode that explored more of how these guys are away from the group and covers a little more of the story before they head off on their journey to the radio tower and part ways later. This wasn't the only change to the story. What we knew before was that Josh could either be killed in ways like the rest or ripped to shreds by his Wendigo mutated sister. That is if we didn't find the clue to make Josh aware that the monster we saw in the mines was in fact Hannah, who had been trapped in this mine and had succumbed to the curse that plagues the mountain, cannibalism. Finding this bit of evidence meant that we could inform Josh, who would eventually capture him and drag him back to the mine we, as Sam and Mike, rescued him from. Thus proving that in some way we could save him before he decided to follow the same fate of his late sister Hannah and the police find an in-progress transformation of Josh at the early stages of Wendigo mutation. But now we had a whole new idea given to us by the devs. What if Josh lived? We now have a chance to save this poor guy that wanted a bit of fun after a year of grief. This is where the most confusing and yet mysterious trophy comes into play. I spent 42 hours, 8 streams, 4 playthroughs, trying different routes and choices to collect all the trophies in this game, but I could never get the Josh part right. After failing for the 3rd time, I decided to do some digging, trying different forums and theories between Steam community posts, YouTube videos and multiple trophy guides, and nobody had a definitive answer. But then I found one guy on the internet that claimed that he had the answers, and it was so simple I was shocked at the thought that so many people couldn't get this right. When presented with the choices for Dr. Hill, good and bad ideas of how to treat Josh, all collectibles, time-consuming theories that could or might prove useful, but nothing concrete. But now this guy has analysed the only thing missed in these theories. The game's internal relationship status had an impact every time you interacted with each character, and Josh had one too. Simple, yet it eluded the entire community until this one YouTuber took the game and sussed out the ease of the stats between cast members. With this in mind, here is the proper way to achieve the almost impossible platinum for the Until Dawn remake. We need to talk about Josh. Trophy achievement on Steam can be attained using the following method. Choices for Dr. Hill don't matter. Only chemistry for the characters do. The choices you make for them dramatically increase or decrease the actual likability with Josh in the character traits. You have to save everyone. If Josh sees any of his friends dead hanging in the last chapter you play as him, he will succumb to the Wendigo's curse regardless of choices you made prior. No choices for the therapy sessions make a difference to the ending. Only the final choices matter, since this opens a trait for the second chance branch in the butterfly effect. So how do we do it? In chapter 1, choose worry from Chris while speaking to Josh for the first time. Then choose agree and check the bar on Josh inside Chris's relationship status for proof that the bar feels a little more. Then when you play as Sam with Josh to light the furnace, choose flattering. Again, check the bar on Josh in the relationship status for proof of the relationship not to decrease with him. When downstairs lighting the burner of the boiler, pick up the bat and choose serious for an increase to the bar with Josh. For the last part with Sam, choose heroic for the final boost in status with Josh. In chapter 3 as Ashley, you pick options on a Ouija board. When prompted with serious or flippant, choose serious. Then choose apologize after asking which sister. The sister choice here doesn't matter. At the saw trap with Ashley and Josh, choose to save Josh for a boost in his status with Chris. Then choose Ashley to die. Don't worry, Ashley cannot die regardless of the choice. Do not attack Josh or the maniac with the vase as Sam or the scissors with Ashley. This will negatively impact the outcome. Now finally, when leading Josh to the cabin as Mike and Chris, you have to choose these options for the most impactful stat boosts that can contribute to the ending. Scold, skeptical, defensive, then finally disarm Mike. After following these steps, you have set up the perfect alignment for the final therapy session with Dr. Hill. You will now be asked to answer for what you have done to your friends. When prompted with choices, the new unlock will appear after choosing "They hurt me." And this new option is "I'm so sorry." This will now open a second chance branch in the butterfly effect page. For the final piece of this trophy, you need to find, as Sam, the collectible from the sisters. This is the journal detailing Hannah's change from human to Wendigo form. This helps Josh remember who the Wendigo is when he encounters her at the end of the final chapter when he is taken from the water in the mines with Sam and Mike. This ensures his survival. So you may now end the game either killing all or saving all, as this does not matter because Josh hasn't seen the bodies and he will now survive. I have footage from the final moments when I achieved this trophy, and I'm so pleased that the devs made us work for this one. Games are a passion for so many people, and when something game-changing hits the world of storytelling, hides in plain sight, and makes us really think about what we're doing, it makes that final pop something special. I really enjoyed this remake and revisiting an icon genre-defining game such as Until Dawn, and I hope this video helps anyone still racking their brains on how to achieve this new Josh living ending. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and share with your fellow trophy or achievement hunters. Happy hunting, guys.
But it's a game that has driven you to one of your own deepest fears, Joshua. Isolation. It's terrible. Isolation. A hopeless.